At this point, I'm not even sure how to make intros anymore. So, this is like, oh, sorry, did not mean to have that pop up. Go ahead and turn that off. This is about like the fifth time I try to make a video to make like a sort of update, I guess, to the channel. So, why all of a sudden is this video up? Well, just for the fact that, for those of you who don't know, I do this as a hobby, and I do it if I want to. But of course, I don't plan on making YouTube a career because at this point of how everything's been on YouTube, there's not really an option to make it a career choice. For the fact of ad revenue and the fact that any and all YouTubers, if they want to make a living, they either have to get special promotional deals or, when they get up to a certain following, they go on, sorry, they have to go on Twitch or something to that extent just to be able to make a living. Especially how some of them go over to Patreon for a lot of their revenue based needs, and for the fact that you need to have some sort of quote unquote talent for making videos, which I'm not like that. I really don't care about making any sort of, I guess, videos. Well, more of the fact that I really don't care for editing, which is fun to do in the spare time, even though I haven't done it in a long time. But what am I trying to say is, I want to be able to do this just for the fact that I have so much free time, or I like to say that I have free time, or at least how it's going on now. I'm gonna be taking another job that would take up that. So what I want to do is I want to be able to make videos and make it generally enjoyable. But I don't want to do this deal of like keeping up with trends. Like for example, the day that I'm making this video, it is the 20th of December, about 1 o'clock Central Time for me. And I really don't want to make, if I want to make videos, I want to make them with games that I enjoy. Not just to keep up with the trends and everything else to get to a point to where I would have a lot of people watching me and everything else like that. I just want to do my own thing. So when it comes to, playing like Cyberpunk, that's just a popular game to play, even with all of its bugs and everything else. And the thing is, I would make a video on it if it wasn't so glitchy and buggy, at least for my end. Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, it is not made for budget PC builds. And when I say budget PC builds, I mean, like, for my graphics card, I have a 1050. Straight up 1050. No TI, nothing else like that. A 1050 that has 2 gigs of video memory on it. Which you would think to yourself, like, that's an outdated graphics card or something to that extent, but it's pretty decent. I'm actually gonna pull it up here, and I'm gonna show you. Of course, I have to relog into my account, which I'm not good with remembering certain passwords. Hey, it saved it this time. I'm actually happy about that. But yeah, let me go ahead, edit part list. That way you can see what I'm working with and go for display capture. So this is my setup. I'm going to leave it here, that way you can see it, but these are my PC specs. These are what I bought, and right now the price is like almost $1,000, which when I originally bought all this, all from Amazon, mind you, this was $800. And I'm not kidding. This was all of these that I bought all together from Amazon was $800. 800 870, so it was still in the 900s probably, but this is my specs. You can pause the video, take a screenshot, whatever, but those are my specs. Now looking at that, you may think that I'll be able to run Cyberpunk at a decent enough deal. And that would be true, but since that game is so buggy and everything else, and I have Task Manager on at all times, it wasn't until I had it on another monitor and was looking at everything that get ready for this. The game was not using my graphics card whatsoever. It was not using the 1050. It was only using my CPU, which I have an i3 that runs 3.7 gigahertz. And it was doing it. My gosh, it was doing it. But I had to have it at the lowest graphical settings known to man. But it is still unplayable. Because if you're running around in Night City, the most I would get is like 15 frames, and that's not good for a video. That is lag central right there. But this video isn't about saying I would like to play this new game, but no, it's not that. I'm making this for the fact that if I were to be making YouTube videos again and spending time editing, that I'm not gonna just play the AAA, highest rated, all these popular games. I don't really want to keep up with a trend of like you can't grow unless you play the top of the line popular games, or do what everyone wants to see, you know, or do everything that you think people want to see. And that's not me. What I want to do is just play games that I want to play. For example, you can see my background being Majora's Mask, that you would think that I'm a fan of it, which I am. And I have done something recently, which is playing old school Nintendo 64 Majora's Mask with a randomizer. And I've actually streamed it a couple of times. But it wasn't until, and I was going to be doing that for a good bit, using my free time to just stream just to see who would watch. It wasn't until I realized, or for the fact that it wasn't until I watched a couple of YouTubers that I like to watch saying that it's almost impossible to have a following on Twitch, for the fact that Twitch won't really promote people who are brand new and are using Twitch. I'm not saying that it's never going to happen. All I'm saying is it is very difficult unless you are doing it all the time for the span of like 5 or 6 years, is when you'll start to get a following. Which, if I was really invested and really wanted to make playing games and everything else like that my career, then you would probably see me being active, making a lot of YouTube videos and everything else. But I don't really care about that. Or more the fact that I don't really care for being big. I like to do YouTube and stream on Twitch for my own enjoyment. And if people enjoy that, then good for you. And I appreciate you subscribing and, just keeping me on your list just in case if I do upload new videos. Like, okay, let's see what this is all about. And I understand with my latest videos just being streams and everything else, you probably think like, oh, he's streaming now. I'm not gonna be able to catch up on what he's doing or anything else like that. And of course, what I try to do is whenever I stream is I try to, go on Twitch and just upload it to YouTube and then be done with that. But even then, I forget to do that sometimes. And I've actually streamed the randomizer with Majora's Mask, but I forgot to upload it to YouTube for the fact that I forget stuff like that. Just straight up, I forget stuff like that. But it's also a fact that I don't think about that stuff. So this whole video is, I don't want this channel to be like a storage vault per se. I do want to make it to where if people want to just see something different, and for the putting it into this perspective, I see like a lot of YouTubers that I enjoy, at least with their editing style. It's to the point where you see it in every single video with slight differences. Some people may edit every single frame to where, like, even if it's for subtitles, I mean, and I may be quoting, maybe talking a little bit of shit about Soviet Wumble, but I don't want to get to that extent for the fact that I'm never going to be there, and I'm not going to invest as much time as editing every single frame to make sure that the subtitles sync and everything else like that. Because one, that would just take a lot of time to do, and second, I don't have near enough skill to do that. And number three, I'm using a free video editing software, and that thing's prone to crashing. And I'm not gonna name the particular editing software because if people know YouTube and know what YouTubers use to get started, you already know what it is. But that's what I have, and that thing is prone to crashing. But of course, my editing style, if you can call it that, is just cutting out a couple parts, making sure that everything's as it should be, adding some subtitles here and there, but that's about it. Once I have everything that I think is passable, I just go ahead and click render, which takes hours, and then upload it. Simple as that. But that's what I do. Some people may say that you're just doing it the lazy way. You're not really spending time into it, which I'll admit that's fair and it's true. I don't really spend any time editing and making it to where it's what's the word? To where it would be YouTube ready, I guess. But I don't care about that. For the fact that I don't see YouTube as a career. I don't see Twitch as a career. At least not a career for me. I don't see those as a career for me. Because when you think about it, YouTube, Twitch, and anyone who has a large following, the only reason that they're quote unquote famous is because that they spent their time gathering a following to people who enjoy how they do things, and that's how they become famous. That's how anyone becomes famous. Do I want to become famous? Not really. If it happens, it happens, but I'm not really. I'm not making that my life goal. Is what I'm trying to say. I want to be able to make videos. I gotta quit saying be able to. I am able to make videos. I am able to edit them, and I am able to upload them. It's just I want a reason to. Aside from just doing it just for a hobby of mine, that can be enough, but it's not a thing that is in my head all the time. Because I just like to play games and everything else in my spare time. Want to be by myself when I usually do it. If I record, it's more of like, even though I only have like 20 something subscribers, people are only, some people who are subscribed are only just going to watch a few seconds, then go on to their own deal, which I understand, and that's what I do too. If I watch a video and the person's not to my liking, I just exit out and go for another one. So I understand it. But for the people who actually take their time and actually watch videos all the way through, even if they don't care for the content but still do so, I mean, good on you. And as far as me always saying, at the end of my videos, saying be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, I just do it because that's what everyone always does. At this point, I just say, like, thank you for watching the video. That's all I'm gonna say for at least ending videos now. Like, thank you for watching the video. I hope you have a nice day. Because now thinking about it, saying that stuff, people only say that stuff because they want to be able to grow. Which I can't blame them. If they're serious about having that as a career, then that's why they say it. I don't, like I said, I'm not going to have this as a career. If people enjoy it and I get more subscribers and everything else, then I appreciate it. But I'm not going to actively continue doing this for the fact that I don't see this as a career. If money does come my way from doing this, then I'm not going to complain. But I don't know. Or the fact that I want to be able to make this channel semi-active. I'll post a few videos here and there just to see what's going on. And of course, I've been looking back on my old videos that I made, and I just couldn't believe myself. I think when I made those videos, I was like 14 or 15 or something like that, and I was shy and nervous of just projecting my voice. And so, if you ever decide to watch these old videos, you'll see how quiet I am, how it's almost a whisper, and everything else like that. Which I just can't believe that I did that stuff. Did I have fun doing it? Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it. But it's more the fact that I was at a whisper for everything. Call it what you will, but I was nervous whenever I came to doing that stuff. I don't see myself as having a talent for all this, if that makes sense. Some people may say, I'm saying some people will actually comment saying this stuff. I'm just thinking of possible scenarios that would happen. That may or may not happen, let me clarify. Some people may say that you probably do have talent, you just need to realize it and put initiative into it. Which I'll give you that but that's only if people actually like what I'm putting out. And I say like as in like they're excited to see if I would make them another video what they would like to see. Which I'm just not sure. Honestly, I think the only way that I would just continue to make YouTube videos semi consistently is if I had a group of people that I would generally enjoy playing with. And I don't mean that as in, you know, people who are invested in YouTube already and know how to do these things. No, I mean like people that I generally like to play with and mostly have the same games that I do and just do something like that. And I don't mean like playing the AAA games and everything else like that, or playing battle royales because people love playing battle royales, which I enjoy. I enjoy it sometimes, but not all the time. And I just get tired of hearing all that stuff sometimes. I get tired of hearing battle royale, which I understand what it is, and I don't hate anyone who plays it. I just personally hate getting sick and tired of hearing them. But I can understand why people enjoy them. And just so people say like, well, the only reason you don't like it is because you never played it. I've played them before. I've played PUBG. I've played Fortnite before. I just utterly hated hearing the name. There was another one I played, TabG. That was another one. There's like one more that I'm not thinking about that I can't remember at this point, but I've played battle royales before. I know the whole gimmick. I know how everything works. I may not be good at them, but I have played them. So that it's more of that thing. So I think, like I said, I think the only way that I would be able to make YouTube videos consistently is if I had some people who would generally that I would generally enjoy playing with, and if I could remind myself just having to hit the record button and just seeing how everything goes. I think that's about the only way I would be able to make YouTube videos. And I spent 20 minutes just ranting. That's all I've been doing is just ranting on why I have just been absent for so long. Which, now I'm curious, what was my latest video? Bear with me while I try to open up all this. Let's see, my latest video was 3 months ago. The video before that was 5, and the video before that was a Dragon's Dogma stream, which was 2 years ago. Yeah, it's been something. It has been something. This channel has been up since 2014. I was actually 14 when I started this channel. That's what it was. 14. Wow, 2014. 2014 was such a simple time back then. There wasn't so much bullshit going around, and here we are, almost done with 2020. But yeah, let's see how 2021's gonna fare. Honestly, with these past couple of years, have just been one after another, but they haven't been that bad. 2020 just brought a whole whirlwind of whatever. And you could tell that there were some people who were unsure of how this year was going to be. Some people just had a bad feeling about this whole year. There's actually a couple of YouTubers that I watched that made that same thing. It's like, I don't have a good feeling for 2020. I feel like it's going to be a shit year. And they called it. I wasn't expecting it, but they called it. with the whole virus going around, which if there was a chance for this video being monetized, it just went down the gutter. Who am I kidding? You have to have 1,000 subscribers to be able to be monetized, and even then, with the CEO just not liking gaming YouTubers at this point, I mean, I don't know. And they change the algorithms every year and everything else like that. And you can't get big unless you have other big YouTubers shouting out your channels or anything or everything else like that. It's weird. It's it's not how YouTube was going to be. 20 every time I hear everything like 2015's algorithms. It was either 2015 or 2010's algorithms where it was the best year to become a YouTuber because everything was done right. If people were watching this type of video and you happen to pop up, people will click on that and then bam, you would just have a large following within like active of like a month or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but that's just how everything was. You couldn't get big unless for right now in 2020 and probably 2021's algorithms, the only time you can become a successful YouTuber is if you have other YouTubers who are become a collaborative and become big that way. There's no like uh, a one for all deal. Like one person, like for example, for me, I'm not gonna become big. Not saying that I want to, but I'm not gonna become big unless if I have a whole group of other YouTubers who want to become big, and we all group together and try to spread our content out there, and in turn get subscribers into the mix. That way we can become big. Which, like I said, I'm not planning on doing any of that. Not at all. But this is how I see YouTube working. This is how I see if people are going to want to make YouTube a career. It's like, yes, you could make videos, you could be highly energetic, you could do all this, and your editing could be up to date. The fact of the matter is, once you upload that video, you'll probably get a couple of views, may get a couple of subscribers from that, but it's not going to be out there unless you have some means of pushing it out there. Some people who maybe, have some money and want to make YouTube a career, they could just be like, I want to advertise my videos out there. I'm gonna pay to have my video in an ad for YouTube and put it out there for the world to see, which may or may not work. I'm not even sure how you could do that, but I've seen a couple people who have done it. But of course, this was a long time ago, and people don't do that anymore. But you can't become big unless you are in the group that is dedicated to making YouTube their career, and you're all in a collaborative, and you may upload the same exact thing. But if you have a group of 5, you make a video on the same exact thing. It's just the only difference is your different point of view, and then you upload it. Now you have 5 videos that are the same thing, but you have a higher chance of pulling in subscribers. That's how I see it. And I'm not trashing on YouTubers who got big because of that. I understand it, but that's almost the only way you could really do it, because what people like to see, and I'm speaking because I'm the person who likes to see this, is people who don't care about, censoring themselves or anything else. They are just generally people who have been friends for a long time, just shooting the shit and just not giving a fuck. Like, they don't care what they say, they don't care what goes on. They just say what they want to say, and just generally have a good time. It's just friends talking. And that's what I like to see. I just like people who don't care about what's going on in the world. They're just making jokes, having a good time, playing and having games in the background. That's all everyone's doing. That's all anyone has been doing. But that's what I like to see. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to have a thing to where I could just be in a like a server with a bunch of people who collaborative goal is to, make videos on YouTube and maybe get big, but just have fun playing with each other. That's the whole thing. But at this point, I have ranted for long enough. It's been about 30 minutes just talking about this, and pretty soon I'm going to have to go in to get introduced to my new workstation. But I hope you guys did enjoy. Do what you want at this point. I'm not going to ask you to like, subscribe, or comment or anything like that. Do what you want to do. You want to just watch this to the end and you're done with it, and you just want to go on to the next video, that's fine with me. Do what you want to do at this point. But a lot of these parts are going to be cut out, just so you know. If you made it to the end, and this may have turned into like a 20-minute video or something like that, that's because I cut out parts where I did long pauses. Because I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't have a script or anything else on my screen that you can't see. Because I'm just going off the top of my head with a lot of this. But anyway, thanks for watching the video all the way through. Have a nice day. Do what you want. Small little update. When I try to edit this video, the free rendering thing that I was using has crashed on me right from the start. So I'm pretty sure it's not even usable anymore. So, just so you know, this is going to be spliced at the end of the video. Everything else that I said, I still believe in. But that's why you see a lot of long pauses and everything else. I apologize for that. I can't do anything about it. I tried to edit it, and it wouldn't work. So yeah. Thank you for enjoying the video, and do what you want.